Hi guys, Jagira here. Welcome to the first episode in a series that will be known as Short and Sweet. A series of guides explaining individual heroes and their roles in the Overwatch universe. In today's episode, we'll be focusing on Roadhog. To start with, Roadhog is a tank, and quite a tanky one at that, able to take 600 points of damage. With a self-heal, he is a formidable foe to face on the battlefield. Let's now look at Roadhog's core mechanics and see what actually makes him so strong.
Say beacon one more time.
The hook, left shift by default, is the real signature move of Roadhog. It allows you to pull an enemy out of position and annihilate them completely. On a 6-second cooldown, this will make you a menace to your enemies. Next is his Take a Breather. By default, this is his E key. This is Roadhog's way to regain his lost health points, up to 300. On an 8-second cooldown, this means Roadhog can be pretty much back in the fight after a skirmish with the enemy team. But with Take a Breather, you do not want to use it in plain view of the enemies. As you glow yellow while you are taking a breather, this makes you a very easy target for them to jump you and annihilate you, as you will not be able to outheal the incoming damage. His weapon, Scrap Gun, has two different firing modes. His left click, which is a short range shotgun burst, which does tremendous amount of damage. You can see where I two-shot D.Va, who has 500 health. Another way to use Scrap Gun is using a right click. This is a medium fire burst that does quite a bit of damage, not as much as your left click, but it's pretty good at chasing down targets who've escaped and who are just a little bit too far away. And last but not least, we have Roadhog's ultimate, WHOLE HOG. This is a devastating frontal cone AoE which lasts for 6 seconds. It will do a lot of damage and force your enemies back. They cannot use any movement effects to get close. As you can see, DVA tries to fly towards me, and as I'm using WHOLE HOG, it will just keep pushing her back again and again until the skill is over. The main strength of Roadhog is the fact of he excels exceptionally well in these close battle 1v1 situations. Say for example you're on Temple of Anubis, and as you're on the attack you're going up. To your left is that small room. You look in there, you see a Junkrat. You hook, you pull Junkrat, you left click. Junkrat's gone, he's no longer shelling your team. Your team can then move forward. Because of Roadhog's natural size, he's a very large character. That hitbox, he will soak up a lot of damage for your team as they can move into that room. Once you've moved into that room, you press E to take a breather. You restore that lost HP, and you've therefore charged up your ultimate. And this is very good because the closer you get your ultimate charged up, you'll therefore be able to use that in a huge team fight situation. Not just on these 1v1s as well. For example, you're in Volskaya and the enemy has set up under that archway. You're on the attack. No, so you're on the defence. You set up under that archway and you can see them pushing. You can see a Reinhardt has his shield up, but a Lucio has got out of position. You hook, you pull Lucio in, you left click, he's gone. Your team also help you dispose of him as he's a little bit quick. He may have avoided some of the damage to get away. He's gone. This is also where in team fights he works, because the enemy team will therefore not engage with less numbers, or if they do, they're kind of stupid, but they just would not engage. So with Roadhog, your main strength and your main role and job is to always make sure they have someone dead. You want them to make sure that they don't have a full 6-man group ready to push. And you always want to make sure that you will take a breather when you're low on HP. Never walk around with, I don't know, only 250 HP if you're easy off cooldown. Do it. Just restore that health to therefore have your ultimate charged up. Because the quicker you have that, you've got it for that security. A little tip, for example, Reinhardt cannot hammer down his ultimate if, well, his ultimate is hammer down I should say, if you are using WHOLE HOG, because you're forcing him in the air. As he's being forced in the air, he physically cannot do it, and therefore you save your team from that stun AoE cone. Keeping on the theme of strengths, you do want to be careful with your hook. For example, I accidentally hooked an ulting diva, as you can see in this clip here. I pulled her just as she ulted, pulling the mech into my group, and as it exploded it wiped most of my team. You can do the opposite of Roadhog though. Say she's thrown the mech into your group and you're away, you can hook it back to save your team in a valiant effort. But I done the entire opposite and I pulled the ulting mech into my team and brought them all to a terrible demise. So yeah, just be very careful when you are hooking, especially diva. Roadhog's large size, which is his strength, is also his weakness, because he's there to absorb damage for his teammates. But unlike Zarya and D.Va and Winston and Reinhardt, who have some form of shield or some form of damage negation, Roadhog doesn't. Yes, he has Take a Breather, which is his heal, but if he was to get focused by 2 or more heroes at one time, he's not going to out-heal that damage. And there are some heroes out there that will just generally ruin his day and make it very unfun to play Roadhog, and in no particular order, here we go. Number 1, Ana. With her anti-healing grenade, the biotic grenade, which will therefore negate any form of healing, and her sleep dart, she can pretty much ruin Roadhog. She is maybe the strongest out of all of them. The anti-healing grenade will stop you using Take a Breather. The sleep dart can just put you out of a fight, or if you're ulting, will just end WHOLE HOG. Number 2, Reaper. Reaper's shotguns will go through Roadhog like a hot knife through butter. He will also use Wraith form to escape Roadhog's left shift left click combo. I would not advise engaging Reaper in 1v1 combat unless you know his Wraith form is off cooldown. Number 3, Zenyatta. While Zenyatta doesn't have a skill that directly counters Roadhog, Discord Orb when applied makes you take an increase of 30% extra damage from all sources. The only thing you can do in this situation is kill Zenyatta or hide up for the line of sight to be broken and Discord Orb returns, because shots that weren't bothering you will now be bothering you as they are hitting you like a truck. During the making of this video, we had the BlizzCon opening ceremony, and during that they released Sombra. So here on the screen I've got the abilities of Sombra. Now the main ones we want to look out for here is Hack and EMP. Hack will disable you from using all abilities. EMP is Sombra's ultimate. The main thing you need to worry about being Roadhog here is the fact it stops you using abilities. Now from what I've seen on YouTube with people playing as Sombra from BlizzCon, she's got 200 HP. So the left shift left combo will work, but you need to get the jump first. And with the invisibility that could be tricky. Little note though, Hack will be disabled, well while she's hacking will be disabled if you damage her. And she has some time charging up for that. So left shift, left click, and she should be dealt with. It's only when she's in a group I could see her posing a real threat to you. So coming up here are a few heroes who can stop your ultimate WHOLE HOG. So you really want to look out for these ones on the battlefield before committing to your ultimate. First up here we have McCree's Flashbang. This will just stop WHOLE HOG entirely. While Reinhardt can't use Hammer Down on you if you're directly using WHOLE HOG on him, watch out for the sides or even behind you where he could get that Hammer Down on you that way and it will cancel out your ultimate. Ana's Sleep Dart here is probably going to be the most powerful one of these counters that I mentioned because of one, the range, how far Ana can fire it. She can be all the way in the back lines, and if she sees you using WHOLE HOG, yes there's a bit of travel time, but like I've said previously, Roadhog is so big, his hitboxes are so large, so even though that dart is moving not as a hit scan weapon, it travels quite fast, and you will travel very slowly while using WHOLE HOG, it will hit you and just cancel out your ultimate. In this clip here I mentioned 2 heroes, D.Va and Roadhog. Now while D.Va doesn't really have anything that will stop WHOLE HOG, like it won't cancel it, but she can eliminate that incoming damage. Unlike Reinhardt's barrier, that is an absorption. It will absorb a certain amount and then it breaks. D.Va's is damage negation. It eliminates and negates all that incoming damage for a time period. Now while this is happening, you could see in that clip where another Roadhog pulled me. That did cancel my WHOLE HOG. So these are the things you want to look out for. Is if you're going in there, D.Va's negating that damage, no one's getting knocked back, and you could get pulled from the side, the front, behind, anywhere. So just a few things to watch out for, especially D.Va's. They and other Roadhogs, they're also the worst. And now we come to ults which cannot be cancelled with Roadhog's pull. Bastion's tank configuration. A nano boosted target will also be unaffected by the pull. Genji's Dragon Blade. Winston's Primal Rage. Torbjorn's Molten Core. Soldier 76's Tactical Visor. Zenyatta's Transcendence. Widowmaker's Recon Visor. And last but not least, D.Va's Self-Destruct. Now would be a good time to point out McCree, Pharah and Reaper, all their ultimates can be stopped. While McCree is channeling High Noon, you can pull in the hook and that will stop him. Same with Pharah's Justice from Above and Reaper's Death Blossom. They are all cancelled with the hook. While Tracer, Zarya and Mei Hanzo are unaffected because their ultimates are projectile based. One thing I see a lot of people who get hooked by Roadhog and then end up taking to the chat to rage him is the fact about the hook. The thing with the hook is that its hitbox range is very exploitable. In this clip you can see where Widowmaker is completely hidden, but because I know where she is, due to voice comm, I am therefore able to pull her down, because as long as the hook is within the general area of your target, it will connect and pull them back. So basically, little tip, never aim at the person you're wanting to pull, okay? Aim around the area and chances are you're going to land it. I hope you all enjoyed the first of my many guides to Overwatch heroes. Thank you for watching and let me know your own Roadhog tips and tricks in the comments below. Let me know what hero you'd like to see next, and until then I'll see you guys next time.